Experiments with recombinant strains of FEV at the West Tech Research Center in Appalachia produced numerous failed mutations, with two exceptions. The first of these was FEVS 006443 from October 14, 2077, a Phase 2 combination strain that combined traits that resembled a number of different species. The results were considered disturbing by some of the scientists, but provided valuable insights as to the capability of the recombinant FEV. Changes included a number of ocular organs along the enlarged upper torso, a second set of arms extending in clawed digits, and a large sickle-shaped claw on each inner toe. The living, stable, and functional subject was sustaining itself normally, a major accomplishment for the program, and was planned for release in Huntersville after the subsequent experiment matured. The mutant was not returned to the area until January 3, 2078, when it escaped containment at the facility. The mutant procreated, leading to the emergence of Snallygaster mutants across Appalachia. The Snallygaster is a quadrupedal creature. It has 2 arms with 3 claws each, one of which is an opposable thumb, and 2 small limbs at the back of its body, which it usually uses to support itself while sitting. It has no proper face, but has a mouth with a long, tentacle-like tongue covered in acid, and has multiple eyes along its back. A Snallygaster will use its tongue like a whip up close and spitballs of acid at range. The Snallygaster has at least 40 eyes, 2 rows of teeth, and thorns on its back. It has been described as being a dragon-like demon that haunts an area outside of neighboring DC. They are easily recognizable from a distance due to their signature clicking sounds and the thick, pungent odor they emit. Snallygasters are almost exclusively found around highly toxic or irradiated areas in groups of up to 4. When provoked, they will spit a toxic slime ball from their mouth, dealing poison damage. They will then run to the player character and use a melee attack, either scratching or hitting the player with their tongue. When idle, or having not spotted the player character yet, they can be heard making various grunting and snorting noises. Snallygasters are immune to radiation damage and take 150% damage when struck in the head. The Snallygaster follows the idea established in other Fallout 76 monsters in that it is based on a local legend. However, the legend of the Snallygaster is more within the area of Frederick County, Maryland. The Snallygaster is said to be a dragon-like beast, and its first sighting happened in the 18th century by German immigrants. It was described as a half-bird and half-reptile with a metallic beak and razor-sharp teeth, and occasionally said to have tentacles. The earliest stories claim that this monster sucked the blood out of its victims. 7-pointed stars reputedly kept the monster at bay, some of which can still be seen painted on barns in the area. Prior to patch 18, the Snallygaster's toxic spit projectile would remain on the ground for a brief period of time. Although there was never a button to prompt, activating the object would move the Snallygaster spit attack explosion to the miscellaneous tab of the inventory. Interestingly, this item had a negative caps value. When placed in a player vending machine, the cap value would default to the maximum caps value, due to an underflow wrapping back around to the maximum value. Originally, it had an inspection model depicting green globules, but it was set to have no preview model in an unknown patch prior to its removal. This item was considered a bug and has since been removed from the game. The Snallygaster is referenced by an NPC that you can find in a random encounter known as the Wandering Storyteller. The Wandering Storyteller is a fabulist and potential random encounter in Appalachia in 2103. One of the few people in Appalachia with first-hand information on cryptids, the storyteller is eager to share its info with anyone who wants to listen, having run into the Sheepsquatch, Snallygaster, and Flatwoods monster. His stories typically involve late-night campfires and startling sounds of close encounters, in which he barely escapes with his life. He travels with his 2 dogs and lives life neither here nor there, typically eating, sleeping, and living entirely in the woods. While this Rolling Stone lifestyle suits him, it is precisely why he has had so many close encounters with these cryptids, leaving his survival a mystery, even to himself. He uses self-prescribed chems, such as Day Tripper, to remedy his trauma over these events. He believes in the existence of God, seeing the various mutants as proof that humans should not meddle in God's affairs. You can reliably find Snallygasters at Toxic Larry's Meet and Go, between the Charleston Capitol and the Hornwright Industrial Headquarters, and at Federal Disposal Site HZ21. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing for more.